Hi, I'm Erik Linask. I'm here in Las Vegas at ComTel Spring 2011, and I'm talking this afternoon with Sanjay Srinivasan from Telesphere. Did I say that right?
Pretty good.
Okay, great. We're off to a good start there.
Yeah.
Sanjay, tell me, for starters, a little bit about what does Telesphere do?
Sure. Telesphere is a hosted voice over IP service provider. We provide business phone service and network services to businesses. We do that over our own private backbone network. We have a nationwide network, and we provide customer access to customer premises. We deploy phones as well as all the LAN infrastructure on their desks, and this allows us to guarantee quality of service, and we are nationwide.
So, as a provider of hosted services, are you primarily seeing interest from small and mid-sized businesses, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Life started that way, but very quickly we are getting into a situation where our customer profile's gone up market. Larger customers, larger per location, but more importantly, we're seeing more and more multi-site customers that are spread nationwide. They really like the model of having to not worry about their network and phone service, and most importantly, having one user experience wherever their employees may be it in offices in San Diego, in Virginia, or at home. And so the profile has gone up quite a bit, and multi-site customers are starting to take to moving the voice as a content into the cloud just as much as they like their email in the cloud.
Right. So it almost sounds like the capabilities offered by hosted services are weighing a little bit more than the cost benefits.
And again, great question. So we also find that the audience that we are selling to, our customers, aren't necessarily the ones that say make it cheapest possible service. They are doing a great balance between cost and quality. And so cost is not always the determining factor for them. They do factor in the productivity gains, the benefits for disaster recovery in case that there's a site issue, the mobility of their workforce. All these are now factoring into their decisions to look at hosted and sign on with hosted providers.
So that, I think, is a little bit of a change from the last couple of years where people were really focused on cost savings and maybe not necessarily asking for the cheapest solution, but really looking very hard at how much they're spending. But people are really looking at the features and the capabilities that you offer.
Yes, definitely. I mean, VoIP when it started, and still today, a small percentage of the audience has this notion that VoIP is cheap long distance. But reality in the business world, people have gone quite well beyond that notion of VoIP. But certainly for businesses, the traditional phone systems have spoiled us. They expect quality, they expect uptime, and for being able to deliver that quality and deliver aggressive SLAs behind that is critical to the businesses in any decision they make. The world is moving towards more data-based communications like IM and texting, but majority still need their phone service.
No question about that. What about video? Are you seeing any interest, requests from your customers in video?
Absolutely. Again, when we go back to the multi-site customer profile, that's getting more and more comfortable with the hosted model. Video becomes a natural fit for them, especially given the costs today of traveling and so on and so forth. They all come to us asking about hosted video conferencing services, not just point-to-point video, but a true conferencing service. And Telesphere is actually working on a product like that.
Excellent. What about HD voice? A lot of talk about it. Not seeing a whole lot of deployment.
Well, I guess in the grand scheme of things, if you look at multi-site customers again, I'll keep going back to that theme.
Sure.
They benefit the most because now their calls from locations to locations are all HD, assuming that the network you're delivering is a private network. The challenge also is if you try to deliver those services over somebody else's broadband connection, then you can't guarantee anything. But I think the multi-site customers are driving that deployment of HD quite a bit. And as long as end-to-end calls going to the traditional PST and stay, of course there's a translation point between HD and non-HD networks that stops that end-to-end service, but the time is coming.
Is there a difference for you as the hosted provider in delivering services to a large multi-site enterprise as opposed to a smaller business of, say, 30 or 40 seats?
Uh, I think the difference largely comes from sometimes how much they know, that businesses know about what they currently have. That smaller customers tend to not know, and every time they are making a change, that's when they're discovering that. Whereas the larger customers have a staff that's been doing that, so they're pretty well informed about what they have and what they want to have when the change comes. So that's kind of the main difference between the two types of customers. But once it's installed and services turned up, both tend to leverage all the features and the benefits just as much.
How important are mobile capabilities?
Extremely so. The workforce is getting increasingly mobile, and people like the convenience of having to use one device and not have to switch devices mid call and have their other party be affected. Number one, companies that have large sales teams tend to want to own the phone number that their prospect is calling into and not go it to their agent or salesperson's personal cell phone, because if the salesperson moves, then that potentially has moved with them. So having mobility and integration with the office phone number, if you will, is becoming exceedingly important. And different customers have different views on, which mobile carrier versus independent of mobile carrier. So there's a wide spectrum of requirements there. But mobility is in to stay, and there'll be a day when we will question the need for a desk phone other than for a good speakerphone.
Well, so that actually leads me into my next question. How close do you think we are to the death of the desk phone?
I think there's still some time left. There's vendors like us, both technology and service providers, have a little bit more work still to do in order to make the end user quite seamless when using their mobile phone as their office service. But great strides have been made, and I won't predict anything, but I think it's coming soon.
I certainly imagine one of the things that has to happen is better batteries for our mobile devices.
Yes, battery. I mean, again, if you look at your own office use, think about when you uploaded contacts into your desk phone. Never. When do you generally use your desk phone? When you're at your desk and you want to make a phone call and it needs speaker. Much of it you could do with your mobile phone with a wireless headset as well.
Right.
And so I think those will be the main kind of drivers of full transition. Certainly battery life is going to be a big issue.
Excellent. Any other trends that you're seeing, especially that are impacting Telesphere?
In a positive way, it's again the customers being more and more comfortable with cloud or hosting, whichever one you want to call it. Moving communications as a content to the cloud is a trend we're starting to see pretty aggressively. So that's what we want.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Been talking here at CommTel in Las Vegas with Sanjay Srinivasan. Sanjay, thank you so much.
Thank you.